Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. If you've been watching any of my content this week, you can know that I am sounding better and better each and every day, getting over the Vegas flu. As always, I am joined by one Uncle Rico, aka Eric, my man, also getting over something. So this is going to be the sickest podcast you might listen to this week.
I mean, on my live stream, I sounded like I was coughing up a lung. Like, dude, there was like a 2 minute of me. That's what I sounded like.
That's what you sound like on your live stream. If you watch that, if you watch my XFL Week 2 recap, I filmed that Sunday, or I filmed it Monday morning. So basically, if you watch that or watch the gymnasium, I sound so horrible. And I got a little bit better yesterday. I went to work yesterday, which sucked. And then today I was a little bit better. I was only coughing infrequently.
I love it.
Been popping cough drops like little candies.
Dude, that's what I do too. I pop cough drops. I have I basically go through a full packet of the Energizer C.
Oh, I've been doing. I always fucking forget the name of it. Whatever, Alka-Seltzer. I've been doing the Alka-Seltzer in my water, and I just chug the water.
So, you know what? I need to ask you this, and it's been something I've been dying to ask you.
How much money I lost in Vegas? Because everybody's been asking me that. Everybody's asking me that. It's a lot of money. Shut the fuck up about it. It's a lot of money.
That's a personal question, dude. You know
Thank you.
I'm not here to judge you for that.
All of the money.
I will judge you on this. Did you go to the pepper mill to eat?
No.
That's a rookie mistake, dude.
It is.
Mistake, dude.
Where's that at?
It's a little bit off the strip. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You know what? You go to that pepper mill, dude. Oh, dude. I mean,
the pictures look sick.
I mean, like, unbelievable, dude. Jimbo has the hangover, dude. Go up to the pepper mill.
Is it? Are you talking about the one at Resort World?
I don't even know the address of it. The one, yeah. Yup.
Isn't that like a super new casino?
No, it's not in a casino. No, my fault.
Oh, okay.
Where's the ad? It's just right off the strip, dude.
Okay, but I'll keep that in mind for next time because I want to go to Vegas. I want to make Vegas like a yearly trip. Because goddamn it, I had fun.
You can do the 64-ounce Scorpio.
That sounds great. I did the 6-ounce Twilight Special at South Point for $6.
Phenomenal. I've been there, done that, my friend.
That casino's a special place. It's gonna hold a special place in my heart now.
Now, did you go to Old Vegas at all?
In Fremont and whatnot?
Yeah.
We were staying at Circa, and they're down in Fremont, so that's where we were staying.
I mean, I went my first time ever going to Vegas as a young pup. We were down there, and I saw one of the hottest chicks I've ever seen in my life roll up to the casino, pushing a baby stroller, and just start fucking going to town.
Uncle Rico was about to give it all up.
I was about ready to get on fucking one knee, dude. I was about ready to get on one knee, but I was there with a female, so I couldn't do it. So
I will say, like, I didn't pay for a drink basically the entire trip, which is always nice. South Point, this is my first time going to South Point. It's beautiful. Can't recommend it enough. Next time I go there, I want to try out the bowling alley.
Yeah. I heard you talking about the bowling alley.
We found it, like, I didn't realize they had a roulette table that had no minimum.
Really?
Yeah, we were betting like dollar chips. And I was like, if I wasn't, because this is the day that I flew in. I didn't get in till like 11:30 at night.
Okay.
I was like, if I didn't just fly in today and was exhausted, I could do this for literally like 30 hours straight.
I'll tell you what, Vegas can go on you, man.
Oh, it took everything out of me.
Now, Did I ever tell you the story about when I saved? I can't. I can't say his name because I did sign NDA agreements.
Just say redacted.
What do you mean?
Instead of the name, just say the word redacted.
So I'll just say. So there was a professional athlete. Can I say that?
You tell me.
Yeah, he was a professional athlete.
Then yeah.
And we were staying at Caesars. We were cutting through the Bellagio. Bellagio has that escalator that's like 140-degree incline. Okay? It's
yes.
just like straight up. Late at night, we're walking by. I feel someone bump into me by the escalator. I turn, I see them falling, and I grab said athlete by his arm, prevent him from falling down the escalator. He is inebriated. He is drunker than me and my buddy combined. He invites us up to his suite for a beer. We go up there. We have to put our cell phones in a little bowl. We had to sign the NDA.
I like how he has that like on standby.
Yeah, well, dude, he had security guards. Why wasn't there security guards with him? I guess they lost them from what we could kind of gather from what was talking. And then we went in there. We get a Budweiser. Out of every beer that we could get, we get an effing Budweiser. And we sit down. We literally crack open the beer. Jimbo, we haven't been in this room for like 30 seconds. And then another guy shows up, and he has 3 women that are just effing drop dead gorgeous. And all of them are topless with thongs. And the big guy who brought him in just goes like this. That's what he did. He just snapped his fingers, gave the circle, and the point toward the door like this.
For you guys?
Yeah. And that was it. We left.
Nice.
So that was my story.
Jesus.
That was my story, yeah.
My Vegas story is I just went to the Vipers game, and it was kind of fun, and then it wasn't.
I want to talk about that Vipers game.
Let's just go through week 2 real quick. So starting off, we had the Battlehawks versus the Sea Dragons. Thursday night football in the XFL. Battlehawks do it again with the late comeback. I'm going to stand by my take that A.J. McCarron in the second half, while down, is the best player in the league.
While down is the best player in the league.
A.J. McCarron in the second half, while the Battlehawks are down, is the best player in the league.
All right, so this is my thing with that game. Okay? Now, do I like Thursday night football? Yes, Jimbo, I love Thursday night.
Everybody loves Thursday night football.
I love Thursday night football. But what week of this is the XFL?
It's week 2.
Let's put it in later in the season when the product's a little bit more crisp.
Let's put it like week 5, 6.
Yeah, just put it a little later. You know what I mean? These teams are still figuring it out. They're not crisp. There's a little bit of issues. There is some sloppy play. That's my only issue. Jesus. St. Louis, we sound so effing sick right now.
We're battling through it.
My issue with St. Louis, how long can they keep this up?
I think they really only need to keep it up one more week, and then they get the home game.
I mean, they could easily be 0-2 right now. And Seattle, I mean...
They could easily be 2-0.
Yeah, Seattle could easily be 2-0, but for the way the Battlehawks have been figuring out ways to win games, Seattle's been finding ways to lose games.
Yep.
And that's a big thing in a league like this. And
especially when there's only 10 games. Like, you don't have that many games to make up.
The teams that are 0-2, they're 0-2, and they're in a must-win at Las Vegas, who's also in a must-win.
Well, I was going to say, especially, like, the Sea Dragons especially, because the other 2 teams in their division, yes, they play each other this week, so they're not both going to be 2-0, but The Defenders and Battlehawks right now are both 2-0 with victories over the Sea Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Little worrying. Little worrying there.
Little worried.
I think, so Chase had the take, and I think this is fairly accurate. The St. Louis Battlehawks this year are the XFL's Birmingham Stallions. Because if you remember the USFL last year, the Stallions were winning by like the friggin' thin of their neck, by the skin of their neck, week in and week out. You and me were both being like, this team is winning, but man, they could easily be losing every single game.
Yep.
And Frozo is saying the attendance in Seattle was bad. I think that's a factor. That's probably plays into the Thursday night aspect of it. And they are playing in an NFL stadium.
So everything's going to look a little.
Yeah, so it's like a combo effect. I don't think it was great, but Thursday and NFL stadium. So like I don't think Seattle will ever look fantastic even if they get a pretty good crowd, which I think if they play on like a Saturday or Sunday they will.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of crowds and not impressive and whatever, DC Defenders took on the Vegas Vipers. The Defenders in a comeback win again, won 18-6. The Vipers really didn't do anything after the first quarter.
So, you were there, so you have a completely different...
Pre-game environment was fun. I liked it. I shotgunned a Zoa. And I will say my one critique of the pre-game environment, it did feel a little like slapped together.
See, because that's kind of... Every other game I've watched in the XFL was visually pleasing with the field and the setup to the eyes. What I saw from Las Vegas was not. And I really feel that they didn't do a good enough job planning on getting a stadium. Now they're stuck playing at Cashman.
Yep.
And for the eyes, to the viewer, it doesn't look good. Now, I admit it. My mom is probably one of the sharpest sports people I know. That's where I get it from. My mom knows her shit. She sent me a text message saying, "This looks like a fucking high school game." Excuse my language. Direct quote from my mother.
I think it would have looked better even if it was at the high school stadium there. I've been saying for a while, I understand why they don't do it, because you can't serve alcohol. But I really would have liked them to play it like Bishop Gorman.
Yeah, it wasn't visually pleasing to what was on the stadium. Plus, you factor in, the rain. The field just looked like shit. And I expect more from this league. Obviously, we saw my boy King come in, and the Vipers could not stop the run. It's like they were clueless with the QB power. And I'm also going to say this, okay? Another thing that pisses me off about this league. Who do they have a deal with? Who does
ESPN?
XFL? Now, who is the top sports channel market, whatever?
ESPN.
How the hell am I going to ESPN and not seeing some goddamn box scores?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like during the game, I'm trying to see like a play-by-play, a drive, seeing how many yards King has, trying to see something during the game. You can't click on stuff during the game. You can't see anything that's going on.
Oh, like on ESPN's website?
On ESPN's website or on my phone.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up, Jim.
I think maybe, I don't know. It's dumb. It's probably very dumb.
I'm on ESPN's website right now.
Okay? Yeah, I don't know why ESPN's not doing it, but it's very stupid. I think if you go to the fucking XFL website, they have everything there. But the fact that it's not on ESPN is stupid.
Jim, if I can go and I can see a play-by-play from freaking Lindenwood and Southeast Missouri State.
I really don't get it.
Yeah, I think I should be able to see that for the XFL.
You should. You should.
I just think it's a bad product.
We had the same issue with the USFL.
Yep.
It's so hard to find friggin' box scores and like injury reports and all this stuff for these leagues.
And yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
That is dumb.
Uncle Rico's britches are in a knot.
And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Vegas, like hands down, has the worst stadium out of every team in the XFL, hands down.
Which is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing that Vegas, of all cities.
Yep.
It's felt like for the entirety of the buildup that Vegas has been like slap-shotted together.
That's a great analogy.
Like every other team has had their shit together. I don't understand what the issue has been with Vegas.
They didn't have a stadium for how long?
They didn't have a stadium until like 2 weeks before the season started.
And I don't understand how you can agree to go to a city
without a stadium lined up.
Having a stadium lined up. That makes zero sense.
We got Frozen on the chat asking when King's going to be the full-time starter for the Defenders.
Should have been since week 1.
What?
Should have been since week 1. My boy King.
You want to know my take?
What?
I don't think he might not become the full-time starter. You might see a little New Jersey General situation for you USFL fans out there with the Defenders, where they kind of play both quarterbacks for change of pace reasons.
Look at you, dude. Look at you.
Do you know how many passes Derek King has thrown in the XFL in 2 weeks?
0.
He's thrown a total of 2. He's completed 1. So he's a great runner. Tamu's a great runner. Like, if you look at the stats for the game, Tamu had more rush yards.
Yep.
Like, what did Tamu go? Tamu went, rush yards right here. Jordan Tamu, 12 rushes, 68 yards. Derek King, 4 rushes for 32 yards. But you do notice with your eyeballs that the run game in general for DC does explode when Derek King gets in there.
Yep. He's just...
This is kind of key in on it.
Yeah, I think he should be in, man. That's...
Game number 3, the Sunday game. I was happy I got to watch both Sunday games. I got home in time. San Antonio Brahmas whooped the shit out of the Orlando Guardians 30-12. That's 2 blowout losses for the Guardians.
No quarterback play.
And they start Paxton Lynch again, and then they pull him. Just put someone else in. You're bringing, like, I still don't know what Dormade or Francois really look like because you're putting them in these shit situations.
And I'm going to say this. And I don't mean to be a mean.
You can be mean, Eric. It's your MO. You tell the truth.
If you just kind of stack up the coaches, okay? This coaching staff of the Guardians by far is the worst.
Well, we talked about it in the Guardians preview. The coaching staff and a lot of the position groups are like very raw. We were being nice and calling them raw and inexperienced comparatively to a lot of the rest of the league. But they had, like, at least the players had a lot of raw talent. So I think the Guardians are the worst team. I think they're by far the worst team. I am not out of the realm of possibility. I think the time for the Guardians will be week 5. We will see a shift where they get better.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to call it. Week 5, Guardians get their first win.
I'm just not a fan.
Week 5, first win.
I mean,
they're not as bad as the Pittsburgh Maulers.
No, they're not.
Not even close. Because, like, they looked good in the first half. Their run game was going. Creep a freak in the chat, by the way. Why don't the Vipers play at Arlington? At this point, it's probably just a sunken cost thing. They already paid for the stadium, so you just got to keep them there.
Do you know who the Guardians' OC is?
Not off the top of my head.
Robert Ford.
Bobby Ford?
Robert Ford. Do you know when the last time this guy coached was?
2016.
You're close. 2011.
Oof.
So my thing is this, dude. I truly feel if you're not around as a coach, if you're not around the game and not seeing how the game is changing, developing, and not around how it's a different era now. You know what I mean? You have to be able to relate to the players, not around the players, seeing how to relate to them. There's a huge issue, dude. He's been out of coaching for 12 years. And he's coming back. I know the guy's a Super Bowl winner. I know he's been a 3-time All-American, but if you're not there and you can't relate to the players, it's just bad, dude. It's just bad in my eyes, man.
Frozo in the chat also brings up a good point. It looks worse as well because of the live mic, so you hear, like, when they have timeouts due to late play calling.
Yeah.
It's a worse look in the XFL.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I will say shout out to Giandre Francois for my favorite moment, one of my favorite moments of the weekend.
All right, tight. Act 2. Shut the fuck up, y'all. Listen. Act 2 hot. On 1-on-1.
Live mic, baby.
But what does that tell you, though? Like, literally,
that tells me that they're kind of undisciplined and unorganized a little bit.
Unorganized, and he's not in control of the huddle.
Well, he's not the starter, so it's like, again, let one of the other guys start. Do not put Paxton Lynch as the starter. Someone on Twitter was talking to me. He had a lot of drops, and he did. The receivers played a bad game this game.
Yeah.
I will not put the loss solely on Paxton Lynch's shoulders, but he is not good. He's like the anti-Jimmy G. He just doesn't win.
He is the I've never heard.
And he's ugly. Sorry.
It's
on the flip side, though, I think the Brahmas are kind of positioning themselves as a really good team. Jack Cohn, while he's not blowing the world up, he looks way better than I thought he would.
Yep.
The run game week 1 was awesome for the Brahmas, and then he steps it up in the pass game this time. The defensive front for the San Antonio Brahmas is great. I'm going to say they're probably the most balanced team in the XFL right now. Watch out.
I agree.
Right now, my playoffs are Houston, San Antonio, St. Louis, DC.
Yeah. Yep. This is my one thing with them, and I mean, we've talked about it before.
I also like Hines Ward a lot. He seems to really enjoy himself.
Yeah, he seems like he's having fun.
Seems like he's having a blast.
I just don't trust Jack Cohn. You know what I mean?
I can't trust Jack Cohn in the big moments. This week 3, when we get into it, this will be the game. This is the biggest test.
Yeah.
This is a big one. Like, they lose against the Battlehawks, but the Battlehawks are somehow magic. So I'm not gonna scrap that all on him. They've got some horseshoe up their ass, but the Roughnecks are the best team, and that'll just lead us right into game 4. Arlington Renegades at the Houston Roughnecks. The Roughnecks win it 23-14. Battle at Texas. It was exciting again. It was still fun.
I mean, I just kind of feel, how can I say this? When you have Wade Phillips, your defense is just going to be ahead.
That defense is so good.
They're just ahead right now. First year league offenses are still kind of trying to catch up a little bit to the defenses, and I just feel that they're just ahead of the curve. Brandon Hi-Ho Silver, I don't really know if he's – I don't really trust him as a quarterback.
I was talking about this with Chase on the gymnasium earlier this week, and I don't know. Brandon Silvers is I'm going to put Brandon Silvers as the benchmark spring football quarterback, where you're a good spring football quarterback if you're better than Brandon Silvers. If you're worse than him, then you're bad. But he's middling. He's middle of the pack. He has moments where he looks great, and he has moments where he looks terrible. But most of the time, he's just all right. They bring Cole McDonald in and kind of use him as a runner. I don't know. I would say, see what you got with McDonald for a game.
But you're in the driver's seat. Why would you though?
I understand why they wouldn't. Because like until you lose, stick with what's getting you there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if I would trust Brandon Silvers. I trust the defense with my life. I don't know if I trust Brandon Silvers to, like, if they need him to win the game, I don't know if he can do it. There are quarterbacks in the league that I feel like could win you the game if you put it on their shoulders. We've seen it. Like A.J. McCarron can win you a game if he needs to. I would trust A.J. McCarron, and I would trust, if it came to it, I might trust Jack Cohn.
I don't trust Jack Cohn.
And, like, I get it. Like, they've blown 2 leads already. In my heart, I still trust Ben DiNucci. I don't know.
Ben DiNucci.
I still trust DiNucci. But I don't know about Silvers. And then on the flip side, the Renegades, I also feel like they have a good defense, but it's being squandered by the lack of rush game. They're like one of the worst rushing teams in the league, and I thought they would be top 2. And I don't know if Drew Plitt is a good quarterback.
I expected more from Stoops.
I think if you're the Renegades, why not just put him out for a game? You're 1-1.
Yep.
Put Slaughter out there for a game.
Yeah, just see what he's got. Why not?
See what he does for your game. Your
And
best
he
player is your
tight end. So why
yeah.
not?
Your best player is your tight end who he has a strong connection with.
Exactly.
Thanks, Herb. I appreciate that.
Herb
in the chat shows the shit, man. What a pal.
Thanks, Herb.
I don't know, man. The Renegades are probably like the Guardians are the worst team. The Renegades might be my most disappointing team right now. At 2 weeks, it's still only week 2.
Dude, I mean, I expected more from Stoops, dude.
Well, I mean, you look back at 2020. I don't think they won a home game. So,
but how can I say this? A returning coach. You know what I mean? I just expected more.
I think a lot of people did.
I just expected more, and you hit the nail on the head. I don't understand why Stroder's not the starter. You have the built-in relationship with the tight end, whose name I'm spacing on, of course. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, man. Week 2's, it's hard to like figure out who's great and who's not. And I'm gonna make all these definitive statements here and there. Fucking week 2 of 2020, I was ready to bury the LA Wildcats.
Yeah.
And then weeks 3 and 4, they blow out the 2 teams they play.
Yep.
Like, you might see drastic changes in the next couple weeks depending on who's playing who.
I'm going to say this. That sounded so fucking good.
That was a bad one.
That sounded so good.
That was bad. I'm still smoking, though.
I'm going to say this. I just think that it's going to be... We're going to see some changes. I think,
Well, damn, half the league is still playing 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. And we're seeing like these huge point. Who are the Arlington Renegades to be laying 8.5 points this week?
Well, okay, so before we get to next week, we got to talk about it a little bit because spring football related. Brian Scott to the Toronto Argonauts. He's there. He's going to battle Swag Kelly, and I'm going to say he's probably going to lose because I think Chad Kelly is a way better quarterback.
Yep.
Like, Brian Scott, he was the Spring League MVP like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks in the USFL, gets hurt. Looked good in the USFL. I'm not going to take that away from him. He looked good. Didn't make it to the XFL season.
Yep.
Just jumped as soon as he heard that Brett Hundley was going to join the roster.
Mm-hmm.
and now he's going to be playing. He's going to be like trying out for the CFL.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe he could be a backup. Maybe he could be he has shown talent. He's shown that he can be good, but like you got to play a full season sometime, dude.
Yep. I agree 155% with you.
And like you're never gonna get me to talk bad about Swag Kelly. Like I'm always gonna be on Swag Kelly's side.
That's your dog.
That's my boy. That's my
your
boy.
That's your boy.
Now, without further ado, let's get into the Week 3 slate of the XFL. We have 1 Saturday game and 3 Sunday games this week. Interesting.
All right, did you see the comment that was just brought up?
Do you think the 2 summer leagues diluted the talent in half and the 2020 XFL had better talent? Potentially. I think there's a good argument for that.
I think so.
Yeah. I would say yes.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that comment.
Yeah. I would say yes. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you could just look at the quarterbacks.
Yep.
Like, Brandon Silvers was in the XFL in 2020, but you had Josh Johnson, who was like, he had been playing how many years in the NFL?
Yeah, that's true.
PJ Walker was a backup for how many years in the NFL? Jordan Ta'amu, whose backup was Taylor Heineke? Like, there's some... Taylor Cornelius, who's now a starter in the CFL?
Yep.
Like, you just look at some of the talent. Donald Parham, who's, like, he's still on the Chargers roster. Like, there was... I think there's good argument to that. But I think as both leagues develop and continue, I think the talent gets better. And you see it every year. Like, especially, like, the USFL had it. XFL has it this year. Year 1, the talent gets better throughout the season. And I'm going to say it. Week 5 is the benchmark. For, like, that's when games start getting good. Not to say, like, I've enjoyed every XFL game I've watched. They have been very fun.
I've enjoyed every game I've watched, too.
And I enjoyed the USFL every game that I watched. But you, like, come on. Come on.
There is a lack of talent at the quarterback position.
I think that fixes itself. I think that's also, like we said, a lot of these teams are like they're putting in other quarterbacks. They're still some of these teams. It feels like half the league is still kind of like feeling it out with the quarterback.
Yeah.
So until you get that like guy who gets his hands on the reins, it's gonna be sloppy. Yep. And that's fun, and I enjoy it, but I'd rather see good play.
I agree 150%.
Now let's get to these games. Saturday, starting off. 0-2 versus 0-2. Someone's walking away a winner. The Seattle Sea Dragons go to Vegas, to the vaunted Cashman's Field. Did you hear the attendance in Vegas, by the way? What the number was?
No, what was it?
6,000. Which sounds very small, but then you realize Cashman only holds 10,000.
That's still pretty good.
By halftime, like, everybody was gone.
Oh, yeah, because it was putrid there.
Yeah, it sucked. I was in my shorts and my tank top. Also, just before we get into this, I thought I was smart. I got, like, second row seats on the 50-yard line. It's a baseball field, jackass. You don't have raised seats. So the sideline blocked our entire view. Just giant players just standing in the way.
So you had second row, 50-yard line, and you couldn't see shit.
I couldn't see shit.
Wow. Second row, 50-yard line.
Yeah, because you're ground level basically at that point. So you have the entire like home team sideline blocking everything.
That's awful, man.
So if you're gonna go to Cashman's, I think if you go like 50-yard line, like the 50-yard line part was great. If you're gonna do that, go higher up. Those seats are probably good.
Okay.
Don't go for the lower rows if you're going to go to Cashman's. But the Seattle Sea Dragons are -3 on the road. Over/under set at 38 points. And I don't know what to do here, Eric. This one's tough. I know you're probably staying away.
This is a pure stay away for me. Maybe I'll lean to the first half under once those lines a little bit. This is a must win for both teams. Seattle could easily be 3-0. The Vipers' inability just to stop a basic quarterback power was just amazing to me. Yeah, this is a stay away for me.
First half under right now where I'm seeing it, 18.5.
I would take the under there.
I would too. I like the Dragons, man. I don't know. The Vipers, they had Hundley in game 2, and he looked lost. Like, they didn't do anything. They put Perez in. He was getting lit up. As of now, I liked how the Vipers looked in week 1. They seem like a lost team at the moment.
Uh-huh.
And unless they find themselves within the week, I'm gonna roll with the Sea Dragons.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm also gonna I took the over in the total game.
You took the over.
It's nicer weather, and I like both offenses a little bit. I don't like Vegas's defense, so I think this could get like a second half pointsy situation.
Okay.
The start of the Sunday Thrill Fest. Battlehawks at Defenders. Battles of the 2-0. So we start off with the battles of the 0-2. Start Sunday with the battles of the 2-0. Defenders -2 at home, over under of 36.5.
I mean, you got to go Defenders here in my eyes.
Do you? Both teams with second half comebacks.
I just have not been impressed with the Battlehawks, dude. They win, great. I don't know.
I think the Defenders are another well-rounded team. I like them quite a bit. I would roll with the Defenders here, but I don't know, man. I'm rolling with Battlehawks magic. Give me Battlehawks straight up.
Look at you, dude.
And I'm going to take the over in this one, too. 36.5.
Huh.
Game number 3. Orlando Guardians take on the Arlington Renegades. Renegades -8.5. Over under of 36. Eric, you alluded to this earlier. Who are the Arlington Renegades to be laying 8.5 to anybody?
I mean, I have to take the Guardians here.
I have to. Yeah, same.
I have to do it. Just makes sense. Lock in the Guardians. You have to play the number here. This is just way too many points. The Renegades, with how many issues they have offensively, should not be laying this big of a number.
No, I took the under. I got the under at 37. 36, I still like it. I don't trust either offense a ton.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Give me the Guardians. Depending on what that money line... What is that money line? What do you think the money line is for the Guardians?
I
have it pulled up right. It's 315.
Oh, I'll put a little money on that, too.
I might sprinkle a little on the Guardians, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't liked what the Renegades have shown me.
Renegades could be 2-0, 0-2 as well, too.
They could easily be 0-2.
Yeah.
Easily be 0-2. Last game, banger way. So I think this is this week has a lot of great matchups. I think this week sets up perfectly for like the most competitive matchups we've seen so far into the 3 weeks. San Antonio Brahmas at the Houston Roughnecks. Roughnecks -4. Over under of 36.
Want nothing to do with this game, my friend.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
Nothing to do. You can call me every name in the book, Jimbo.
No, I'm not going to, because like you didn't put yourself out there and say you're betting every game. I did. I'm gonna take the Brahmas +4. I got him at 4.5. I'm still gonna take him at 4. I think they keep it close. The Roughnecks have played the worst team and maybe one of the bottom 2 or 3 offenses in the Renegades.
Mm-hmm. But this is my thing. Jack Cohn
against that defense, yeah, it's scary. I am scared. But I do think, how close is San Antonio to Houston? I don't think it's that close, but it's close enough that you'll see some people travel.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Should I text Miss El Paso? Should you get some tickets to it?
I'm not going to another game until the championship game. Maybe. I don't know. I'm really wiped for money.
No, dude, come on, man.
I also went the over 36 in this game.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, I went the over in this one.
Interesting.
I might roll with first half unders again, though. For every game. Just every game.
Interesting.
What's your favorite bet, Eric, and why is it the Defenders, you fool? You only had two. What's your favorite of the two?
Probably the Guardians, just playing the number.
I'm with you there. That's probably my favorite bet, too.
That's just way too big of a number. I do like Greg Williams' defensive scheme. I feel what he's going to be able to give the Battlehawks is going to be a huge thing. If we see the Battlehawk,
you think Dr. Heat dials it up?
Yeah, I think Dr. Heat dials it up.
You think he puts a bounty on AJ?
No, and I do think we're going to see more King in the running game, and he's going to be able to run on the Battlehawks. So I think like the Brahmas did a great job moving the ball on the ground on week 1 against the Battlehawks.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
I think DC is going to play both quarterbacks like throughout the games. I think you're going to see a lot of dual quarterback situations. I am waiting to see, once Frozo's right, the Battlehawks defense is questionable. I'm waiting to see, so you can have two quarterbacks out there. What if you have Tomu and King out on the field at the same time?
Look at you, dude. Just
little
the innovator of offense.
Little double forward pass?
Look at you, the innovator of offense, Jimbo.
What about like a Jordan Tomu screen to De'Aaron King who passes it downfield?
That's sexy.
That'd be hot.
I like that.
That'd be hot. That's it. That's Spring Fever, everybody. That's week 3 of the XFL coming up. Go put in your fucking Guardians tickets already.
Locking those Guardians. I just found a plus 350 on the money line, my friend.
Woo! Woo!
Juicy.
Oh, actually, before we go, we're doing ourselves a disservice if we don't check the futures right now. Let's see a little XFL future action. Let me find it. Come on, baby. Okay, Eric. Your favorite to win the XFL. Plus 275. Your DC Defenders.
I see it, dude. I see it.
Plus 325 for the Houston Roughnecks.
I see that too. I think I got the Rednecks at 5-1 somewhere.
Yeah, I got them at like 6.5 to 1, 7 to 1, something like that. Yeah. Battlehawks plus 350.
Don't see it.
So I was talking with my buddy Scott Bowser in Vegas. He asked me like 2 weeks before the season started who to pick. And I said, it really depends on where you can get the lines because XFL lines, the futures were different at like every book, it felt like.
Yep.
So he got like the Roughnecks and the Battlehawks both at like 6 or 7 to 1.
That's a good position to be in.
You got one team from the north, one from the south?
Now,
that's a good question. Okay. Go ahead, Eric.
I think the team that has value right now is the Sea Dragons.
Sea Dragons 8 to 1.
Yeah.
Renegades plus 650. Vipers plus 750. Brahmas 8 to 1. Might have some value.
Yep.
Guardians at 16 to 1. You can make that 20 to 1, and I wouldn't take it.
Not after they win this week, my friend.
But we got Creeper Freak in the chat with a good question before we head out. With high scoring and legalized gambling, do you think arena football can be successful in the future? I don't know. Like, I haven't seen any like onshore legal sports books that offer arena football, but I do bet it on offshore, like time to time when I see the lines.
I don't know. I mean, my thing with that is if people know about it, they can do it. And if they're not going to get the marketing, they're not going to be able to do it.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like it would have to only be like local books.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I really feel like the blueprint for these leagues is you just follow what the MLS did when it first started out. Everything was right next to a bar. They tied in drinks to going to the game. That's how you get the crowds in it.
That fits out arena perfectly because you're already at a stadium, like an indoor stadium.
Yep. It just that whole thing to me, that just makes sense, dude. To do it.
I will be betting on arena football, just so everyone's aware.
Just so everyone's aware of the situation.
Yeah, I will be betting on Indoor Football League and the AFL once it makes its glorious return.
Not all heroes wear capes, Jimbo.
I will bet on every football league I can get my hands on.
That's why you're the man, dude.
Eric, before we go, why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
eTalk 21 Sports on everything. And also, my podcast comes out over the weekend. Jimbo is going to be on it. We're going to be talking some XFL. You listened last week. You hit a phenomenal 10-1 winner in Mr. Kyle Busch in the NASCAR race.
Nice.
And my boy Brandon is a professional iRacer. He knows all the guys. He told a phenomenal story 2 weeks ago how one of the most recognizable NASCAR names is on the website sugardaddy.com and how it's causing a little issues with his marriage.
Ooh.
And then
little
my
drama?
on Tuesday.
Y'all know where to find me. XFL Gym everywhere, all the time. Since I'm not going on a vacation this week, guess what, baby? You guys know what that means, Eric?
Are we live
I
streaming?
will be live streaming every single XFL game this weekend.
Jimbo,
Sunday's going to take a lot out of me, dude.
Dude, Sunday's going to... Dude, that's an MVP type performance, dude.
3 games? 3 games on Sunday? You kidding me?
You're going to have the shakes, dude.
Noon to 3 to 7. Whew. I don't know. Saturday's going to be a nice little tune-up for that. I need a tune-up after taking a week off. But you can find me. You guys tune into the stream Saturday and Sunday.
Let's do
It's going to be a blast.
I'll make a cameo.
I got to figure out what I can do for breaks between games, but there will be something. Links, as always, going to be down here for both of our YouTube channels. Go check us out. Eric's great. Go watch his shit. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Spring Fever. Stay sweaty, boys. God damn it. And the bucket!